I just don't know enough about him or his music to care,
So you only see things through your own lens.
basically.
So it's not a subjective answer at all.
Basically. Welcome to Too Much.
Our podcast about, well, whatever.
From issues of the world to topics of lesser grandeur. We've got you covered with a little bit too much to say about everything.
So let's start the show.
I'm the hillbilly that won the lottery, then lost it all, and all his family died. Michael.
And I'm just trying to be somebody's holiday, Cody.
Holiday. Is that movie on Netflix?
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
I can imagine. I think there's Julia Roberts' niece that's in it. I forget
Yes.
her name.
Emma Roberts.
I find her to be a really great actress. Is she any good?
Really great.
Yeah, all the things I've seen her in, she's been really good, but I feel like they typecast her. She's always playing a mean girl.
She's always playing herself, so I wouldn't call her a great
You,
actress.
you think she's a mean girl in real life?
Yeah.
I don't know. She's pregnant right now, and she announced it with her boyfriend slash fiance.
I just saw her on the cover of a magazine with Bump.
Yeah, and she looked like one of those really sweet girls. So I'm like, maybe she's not mean in real life.
Did you ever see that behind the scenes video for, I can't remember what magazine it was, but it was like Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy, Gabrielle Union, somebody else was there, and Emma Roberts, and they started talking about race and inequality.
Okay.
And
I don't think that's her conversation.
Emma Roberts, she didn't say anything the whole video. She just stood there looking at them. And Ellen Pompeo was like, it's white people's responsibility, this and that. And
Yeah.
Gabrielle Union was just like, that part. And I can't remember who the other girl was, but she was saying stuff too. Emma Roberts just sat there the whole time. I'm like,
I can
this
imagine.
girl, she only knows privilege. She doesn't know anything else.
I mean, she is let's just be real. She is a beautiful, young, skinny, white, blonde girl that grew up in money.
Yeah.
She does not know struggle.
I was like, I kind of felt for her because it's one of those situations where it's like, it's better to say nothing than say the wrong thing.
Yes.
But
But then
she
it kind
could
of
have contributed something.
It looks bad on your character not being in touch with what's going on.
Yeah, especially when that became the conversation of the whole video. So it was like as soon as they stop talking about the fluff stuff, she had nothing to say.
That's
nothing
so
to offer.
sad. And I don't even want to say, oh, she's young, because a lot of young people have a lot to say about inequality.
Exactly.
Even if you do not personally experience it, you know it exists, and you should have an opinion, whether your opinion is you don't care or you feel bad.
Yeah.
I mean, pick one. I guess you didn't want to say you don't care because people would cancel you, even though I don't believe in cancel culture.
Ellen Pompeo had a lot to say. She said some great stuff.
She is very active and she's very vocal. I love that about her. I believe she has
black children.
Black children, a black husband. Sometimes you find people with black children not really speaking up. And when I see someone like her doing it, it really warms my heart because it feels like their family isn't just a token to them. It's like, yeah, I love these people, and these people are experiencing they have a different experience than I do. And I want to make sure that they don't have to go through these type of hardships. If I have any type of power, any type of pull, I'm going to use it to help them.
Exactly. And that's exactly how the conversation about race started, because like halfway through the conversation, she's like, well, it was halfway through the video. Who knows how long their conversation was. Yeah. But she's like, this has been a great experience. Thank you so much for doing this photo shoot with us. But when I look around the room, I don't see enough people of color.
I remember that. I definitely remember her saying that. And then it just went into this whole thing.
Yeah, and then Gabrielle Union started talking about, how people think she works all the time, but like she still struggles to get roles, and the roles aren't always great, the ones she's offered.
True.
Et cetera, et cetera.
I remember watching this Christmas movie a few years back, and it was with Gabrielle Union and Monique.
Okay.
And some other people, I forget everyone, but basically all the black people where we see them in movies and we say, I know her, like the Regina Halls of the world. Yeah. And I was like, damn, just another black holiday film that's low budget. You can tell no one invested in it. You can tell no one probably got paid more than $200,000 for this film. Yeah. And the film probably made 75 million or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because people support it.
Because we support these films, but they don't make any money off of it, and the budgets are low, and it's just sad. And when I saw Monique in it, I was like, damn, they really blackballed you.
It was a good movie, though.
It was not a bad movie, You know why it wasn't a bad movie? Because everyone in that movie were great actors.
Yeah.
But the script was not great, and the production of it was not great.
It wasn't that bad.
I'm overly critical, but still.
I know, but it was that genre of Christmas movie. Like Holiday is terrible. I'm sure it's going to be pretty successful. It's like sometimes you just want a disposable Christmas movie. That's like a genre in itself.
All I'm saying is I feel like they could have done better with the writing and with the production, the quality for that movie. I feel like whenever it's a all-black movie, sometimes it's done by a white production company, sometimes it's done by a black production company. I don't really know. The black production companies probably don't have that much money to invest in it, so it's like, let's do with what we have. But I'd like to see other people investing in them because they're good. So you guys have been listening to the podcast. Thank you.
But if the Too Much podcast isn't enough, there's a whole lot more content on Michael's YouTube.
Yeah, I post like every single week and I have literally too much going on over there.
Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and please drop a comment and tell us what you thought or what you'd like to see Michael do next.
Bye. Oh, no. Back to the show.
Today's episode, we're going to try something different and do all hot topics all episode long.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, my story is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You all know it. Y'all love it. This was the 90s, for Christ's sakes. It was the hottest show on TV. We're talking about Will Smith. We're doing a reunion the 19th of this month, November, on Crave TV here in Canada.
This week?
Yeah. So what's really cool about this is that, one, Crave, you're getting some real good business here. For my American friends, you can catch it on like HBO Max, I think. Yeah. Everyone's coming back, with the exception of Uncle Phil, of course, who passed away a few years back.
Yeah.
This is really amazing. For a 90s baby like me that loves 90s sitcoms, I can't wait.
Yeah, we haven't had as many reunions for like youth-centric shows.
Yeah.
It's been more for like sitcoms so far.
And with this, it's been, 30 years? 30 days.
30 long days.
30 long days. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I saw when they first recorded it, I saw a picture of Will talking to the original Aunt Viv.
Yes, she's going to be there.
Who left the show alert. Unceremoniously.
You know, there was a lot of chatter around her departure, and some people were saying... She did an interview, but in her interview, she did not really get into specifics. She just said that Will was getting a big head.
The story I heard was that she was pregnant and that during that pregnancy was very difficult. Obviously, there's two sides to every story, but she obviously felt like she was being treated unfairly.
Yeah.
And the rest of the show obviously felt like she was... asking for too much or being too difficult or whatever.
I don't know, but she said Will was getting a big head, and there's some other reports said that Will thought she was trying to actually be the mom, like trying to gather everyone and like put them in line and stuff, and Will was like, I know I'm young, but this is mine. So they clashed a lot. That's one report, and she said in an interview that Will was getting a big head. That can mean a lot of things. I mean, he was a young rapper. He was really popping.
Yeah.
He had his own show. He could have been feeling himself.
Oh, for sure.
But I remember watching it, and then all of a sudden I see this different Aunt Viv, and I was like, what the hell is this? Are we going to address it?
I mean, it happens a lot.
It does, but as a kid watching, like I was like, wait, Aunt Viv was skinny and black, and now she's like, I mean, Aunt Viv is still black, but she's obviously light, way, way, way lighter. And a different body type than the Aunt Viv I know.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the new Aunt Viv, but the original is still my favorite.
Yeah. She was just... I think there was more storylines that actually involved her.
Yeah.
Because she was funny.
After the original Aunt Viv left, Aunt Viv's character just sort of faded.
Yeah, she was just on the sidelines.
Yeah, she was just like, oh, the mom's in the room.
Do you remember when the original Aunt Viv went to that aerobics class?
I'm literally thinking about that right now.
Because
It's
that clip
literally
lives
in my head.
forever on the internet.
Rent free in my head.
Yeah. There was no... sorry, my phone was falling if I sound like crazy. There was no scenes like that with the new Aunt Viv. Not that I can remember.
No, the new Aunt Viv didn't do anything similar to that. Or she didn't get any scenes written for her. She was always just a supporting actress in a scene with the kids.
Yeah. When they announced the premiere date, I saw a picture of Will and both of the Aunt Vivs for like a photo shoot behind the scenes pic.
Love to see it.
It'll be interesting because obviously they're going to talk about it as part of the reunion.
Yeah.
I saw like a one-on-one with Will and original Aunt Viv. So they're obviously going to talk things through, and hopefully we'll get some more info from that instead of just I don't have any hard feelings anymore.
I don't think we're going to get to the bottom of it.
I don't think we'll get to the bottom,
Smith we're talking
but
about.
I think there will be some. I think we'll get to hear both sides of it. It will be Will's red table talk.
Red table talk is bullshit though, because they use it as like a tool to fix up people's images. I think it's going to be produced like Red Table Talk, where it's like, I have to take responsibility for what I did. You have to take responsibility for what you did. But no one's going to actually say what they did.
They have to.
I don't think they will.
Well,
because the Smiths, they are very controlling and conniving, I feel. Love them. Beautiful family. But they do try to control the narrative a lot. And it's smart.
You can control the narrative and still get into it a little bit.
I don't think they will. We're going to get another freaking, what did Jada say?
Entanglement.
Another entanglement story. We're going to get another buzzword out of it. But we're not going to get the truth. I feel they'll give us something to hold us and to be like, we squashed it, y'all, but we will never hear, Will Smith was mean to me and he like cursed me out and kicked me off the set. And this is how I found out I was fired. I've heard stories where people say they've got fired by Will Smith at the table read. And they're like, people think he's nice, but he is just so cold. Two black actresses, Countess Vaughn, you know her.
Yeah.
She's from the Parkers.
She's a mess.
She is not a full mess. Just a partial mess.
Yeah.
Countess Vaughn and the actress, I forget her name, but she plays Trudy on The Proud Family.
Okay.
They said that they were at the table read. Everyone's excited for the show. They've done table reads before. This is like the second or third one. And during the table read, one of them said they found out they were getting fired there. And the other one was like, they didn't really tell me I was fired. So they just, when the table read was done, everyone was still sitting down. And then they were like, okay, you can go now. And when she was leaving, Will waved and yelled out, bye, Paula. Oh, yeah, her name's Paula. Will just smiled and waved at her saying, bye, Paula. And everyone else at the table said, bye. And that was it. They didn't hear. No one called her back. She's
that doesn't bother me.
That's how I found out I was fired.
Show business, baby.
I know. But I would love to know how Aunt Viv, the original, found out she got fired.
I don't think that'll be included.
Exactly. And if I'm not getting the full tea, then it's just fluff.
It's not a 1 hour Oprah sit down. The show is...
This doesn't require an hour. This requires 5 minutes.
The Fresh Prince reunion.
If you're going to give me a reunion, I want the truth. I want to hear, it was fun behind the scenes. It was a family. But then give me 10 to 15 minutes with you and Aunt Viv.
15.
I don't care. At least 5 minutes. It takes no time to say, I was young, I had a big ego, and I just didn't want you around anymore because you kept checking my ego.
Maybe that will happen.
I hope so, because it would make me respect him more if he was honest. But yeah. I know a lot of fun happened behind the scenes, but what I want to know is why I never heard from Hillary again after the show wrapped. Why she never really got into acting after that. I know the younger sister, Ashley, I keep calling them by their characters' names because I don't know their real names, apart from Alfonso. I want to know why Ashley tried to break into acting after Fresh Prince, but it didn't work. No one really wanted her. and Will obviously went on to rule the world. The new Aunt Viv and the old Aunt Viv, they disappeared into obscurity.
I actually I started rewatching the Bernie Mac show, and the old Aunt Viv is Bernie Mac's wife's mom.
Really?
On the show. Yeah.
Bernie Mac show, this was what? Early 2000s, right?
Yeah. I want to say like 2000, 2005 or something like that.
So this would have been maybe 10 years after she left Fresh Prince.
Ish.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So she was still acting.
Yeah, I guess she was still doing something here and there.
I really want to see this. I'm going to have to watch it.
It'll be good. I'll watch it for sure.
Yeah, so that's it for my story.
Did you see who's performing at the Super Bowl halftime show this year?
I heard, and I am not impressed.
For those of you who don't know, it's The Weeknd. Why are you not impressed?
Because I'm not that big of a fan of his. I don't think he's a bad person, artist, or anything. I just don't know enough about him or his music to care.
So you only see things through your own lens.
Basically.
So it's not a subjective answer at all.
Basically.
I think it's a good choice.
He has a lot of chart-topping songs.
A lot.
So it makes sense. However, I've never seen him perform live, and so I'm a little skeptic just because of that.
I think he's great. I think we don't see him perform live a lot. Well, lately there's been some performances, but I think he has a really great creative director that really brings things to life. Like, he's obviously not going to be out there dancing himself.
Yeah.
But they come up with cool ideas. I remember even when that song for 50 Shades, Earned It, was nominated for an Oscar and he performed on the Oscar. Like, that was a simple performance, but I thought it was beautiful too.
I didn't even know he was nominated for an Oscar. I would imagine they would get him and someone else. I just don't know if he's a big enough name to carry a whole Super Bowl performance. No, hear me out. You're looking all shocked.
Because you're saying, I don't know if The Weeknd's a big enough name. The Weeknd, we just said that he has 1 billion chart-topping hits.
We did not say that. I said I know he has some chart-topping hits. I don't know how many he has.
He's like record-breaking Spotify streams, longest-running top 5 song.
I don't care. I don't know her.
But that's the thing.
My thing is...
You're saying I don't know if he's big enough, and I think he's one of the biggest artists in the world right now.
Opinions.
No, it's kind of a fact.
Opinions. How many... In the top 10 artists in the world right now, is he in the top 10?
Yes.
Doubt that.
Who is in the top 10?
I don't have time to list that for you.
Exactly.
I could give you 10 names, but he would not be in those 10. He would not be a part of it.
If your top 10 is based on streams, sales, ticket sales, anything like that, yes, he's definitely in the top 10. Probably the top 5.
Okay, you're delusional. Let's get facts before we start just talking trash.
I'm not talking trash.
How could you have Shakira and J-Lo perform together but give The Weeknd a whole slot by himself for 13 and a half minutes?
Because they wanted to do something Spanish and Shakira wasn't big enough to do it on her own.
That's the reason you think.
Yeah.
Trash. You keep saying trash.
Why is that trash?
Because it doesn't make sense to me. J-Lo could have carried that whole thing by herself. She has enough hits to do it.
Yes, but they wanted...
And she is Spanish.
But they wanted more Latinx. J-Lo is a mainstream pop star who sometimes makes Spanish language albums.
All I'm saying is, personally, I don't see why he's getting a full slot on his own.
Also,
you couldn't give Coldplay a slot on his own. And Coldplay actually has a lot of chart-topping hits, and they have a big fan base.
But what you need to understand is Coldplay was the headliner.
I know, but they still didn't... They had other people to carry them through. Yeah. And it made a lot of sense.
But almost every year they have somebody else.
Yeah.
So you're assuming The Weeknd's not going to have anyone else.
I hope he does.
He will. They always do.
No, Beyonce, she did bring out Destiny's Child.
Yes.
Who did Gaga bring out?
I don't know. I don't even remember that year. Did she bring anyone out?
I don't remember. I vaguely remember her performance.
I remember Katy Perry brought out Missy Elliott.
I remember that. And the Sharks.
So, yeah. He's probably going to bring...
Wasn't Nicki Minaj on Katy Perry's one, too?
No, Nicki Minaj was when Madonna did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Madonna's own was really cool.
I barely remember, but I have a terrible memory.
Who are your like top 5 Super Bowl performances?
Oh God, I have a terrible memory. I just Prince and Beyonce, and yeah, I don't know. That's all I can think of from the top of my head.
I liked Beyonce's.
People said Gaga's was really good too.
I like Beyonce's. I liked Michael Jackson's own. It was very cool for the 80s or whatever year that was.
I don't think I've ever seen Michael Jackson just because it's so old.
Yeah.
Like in full.
I watched it in full and I was like, this is like some real... Because he was very big on projection and a bunch and just performance value.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. And I liked Madonna's. Madonna's was really cool. I would have put Katy Perry in my top 5, but I just didn't feel that connected to it. It was just like a lot of production.
Yeah.
Like a little bit too much. When you have too much production, you lose the performance.
You think so?
Yeah. I liked our little friend there, Bruno Mars. Loved his.
Oh, I forgot that he did one.
Yeah, his was really nice.
Did you think he deserved to do a halftime show?
Yeah, because he can perform. He has the hits. He has songs that have been on the freaking charts for 10 years straight, and he can perform. I'm big on performance. So if I'm watching and you're going to... Like, I love Mariah Carey. She's like one of the greatest to ever do it. I don't want to watch her in Super Bowl because she's going to stand there and people are going to dance around her.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. But for my Super Bowl, I want you to dance. I want you to give me a show.
Interesting.
That's all I'm saying. I think I gave 4, so the 5th one would be... Give it to Gaga.
I think Gaga's was good.
Yeah.
I don't remember it all, but...
She was tired because she was jumping off of stuff and doing the most.
Yeah.
At some point when she was dancing, I'm like, girl, you're going to pass out.
Yeah. Well, I think she was kind of out of it at the time, right?
Maybe.
Like she had just put out that album. She hadn't done anything for a while, so it's not like she was in the touring
She
lifestyle,
wasn't at her physical peak, for sure.
Exactly.
I could see that. Not body shaming or anything, but as someone who performs a lot, they're normally physically at their peak to keep up with their own choreography and singing, breathing techniques, because she's very big on I sing live. Right. No matter what I'm doing, if I'm doing a backflip, I'm singing live.
Which is good.
Which I respect a lot.
Pink has never, now that you mentioned singing live, Pink's never done
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I feel like she has the hits to do it, and she would be a really great performer, but she just doesn't have that traction with the fan base anymore. I mean, she has her fans, but in mainstream... I mean.
Like, if she was to do it, they should have given it to her years ago.
Back then, when she did that whole thing at the... What was it, the Grammys? When they dipped her in water, she was doing the aerial thing in the air. They should have gave her that year.
Yeah.
Because that's when everyone was really pumped for Pink.
They missed their chance. But I think The Weeknd's going to be really great. I think it's going to look really cool on TV watching it.
I hear they want to have... Because that stadium holds 66,000 people. They want to have 13,000 people in the stadium. So people can watch socially distanced.
Right.
To be honest, I don't care if they do it. Like, some people are saying no, just don't have anyone in the stadium at all. But if it holds 66,000 people and you want to put 13,000 in there, like,
it's getting in and out.
That is going to be a thing. But this is America. And if Trump is having rallies with how many people, I don't know, and people are out there in the streets going to clubs, partying, it's America. I don't really see the big deal with it. I mean, people are doing these things anyways.
Yeah.
If it were here in Canada, I'd be like, oh, hell no. Because we're more responsible than that.
But it would never happen.
But they're not so responsible anyways. So I'm like, oh, you guys have a line now we're going to draw?
We'll see. It's in, February?
Yeah.
We'll see what life is like in February.
We will see. I mean, there's a vaccine, allegedly, by Pfizer.
Allegedly is right.
I'm so glad that it's going to be given to all the young and old people. I want to get the 3rd wave of the vaccine. Let me see if anyone grows an extra arm from this first.
It's going to take years to see if somebody grows an extra arm.
That's fine. I'll wait.
Yeah, I'm not jumping to get it. Did you hear about this white Republican politician in Pennsylvania who called himself a black gay man on Twitter?
That's a joke.
No, for real.
That's funny.
So he was, I guess he tweeted something about Trump, obviously. And then somebody responded talking about something that Obama did. And then he replied to that guy and said, this is the tweet. This is a quote, not my words. I'm a black gay guy, and I can personally say that Obama did nothing for me. My life only changed a little bit, and it was for the worse. Everything is so much better under Trump, though. I feel respected, which I never do when Democrats are involved.
I don't know what's wrong with these white Republicans doing this invasion of the body snatchers type shit. Stop. Twitter needs to really cram down on these people. There's so many of them out there with fake profiles talking about I'm a black person that loves Trump and blah. I'm sure there are real black people out there that do like Trump. I've seen them.
Of course, yeah.
However, all of these people on Twitter, they're not real. They're bots.
Yeah, well, as soon as it happened, he started trending, obviously, because it went viral.
Did he use his own in Twitter?
Yes.
Stupid.
Well, so most people are assuming that he forgot to like toggle between accounts because there's this other. So when they started searching some of the words he used in the tweet, like I'm a black gay guy, and then they found this other profile called Dan Purdy, which had like a black emoji as the picture, and there was like 4 or 5 tweets where he said I'm a black gay guy, like responding to people around the internet.
Same.
And it's like, how often do you see a black gay guy tweet
I'm
as
a black gay
man? It's like you just are. You don't have to announce it in every tweet. So obviously he responded to the backlash, and he was like, I was just tweeting a quote from a message that someone sent me earlier in the day. It's like, no, because you would have put quotes around it. You would have said somebody sent me this, da da da. It's just a lie.
He should be fired for impersonating people online.
Absolutely. Whenever I see, because I've tweeted things and got like a lot of
backlash,
feedback. Well, yeah, backlash.
Oh yeah, I remember they were coming for you, but this past summer.
Yes, there's been a few occasions, and there's always like a few black people who are in it.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, is this a real person? Do you
Probably
honestly
not.
think this is a real person? Most of the time, I'm like, no, this has got to be just a bot. Someone's hiding behind it.
Yeah.
Like, if you have to be like, well, I'm black, it's like, people don't talk like that.
I've been in, I wouldn't say countless, but I have been in little scuffles online before, and with racist people, of course. And never have I had to say, as a black this or a black that. You see who I am.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you.
Exactly.
So the fact that you keep tweeting out, as a black gay man, Obama didn't do anything for me, Trump is my savior, you look crazy. No one is believing that you're real.
I just can't even, the things that he says, I just can't even fathom them being true. My life only changed a little bit under Obama, and it was for the worse. What did Obama do to make your life worse as a black gay man?
I don't know, give you guys the right to marry?
But yet everything is so much better under Trump. I feel respected, which I never do when Democrats. It just said, like, the whole tweet is just so politically, like, garbage.
I don't understand what, and this is something Americans are really good at, or they've just been doing a lot of it, going online and talking shit as the opposition to tear down another party or whatever.
And what's so damaging is that there's people who see it and don't see through it.
Oh, yeah. Other Republicans will see this and be like, oh, I saw on Twitter the other day an actual black gay person who said Obama didn't do anything for him.
Exactly.
And think it was a real tweet.
Exactly.
From a real black person.
Just because you saw it on the internet, Susan, doesn't mean it's real.
I keep telling people this. You're like, oh, I saw this story. I'm like, and what's the source?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, give me more information, because I could go online and type anything I want into Wikipedia, and you can go read it and say it's fact.
And it's so smart politically to do this stuff, but it's so damaging, because then, people think that the things they hear. So then when Trump's people go on TV and say, we've done a lot for the black community, the people who like him think back to those like stupid Facebook comments that they see of like, quote unquote, gay black men saying that their life has been better under Trump, and they're like, yeah, I see the results. I'm seeing it. People on Facebook are saying the exact same thing that the Trump, whatever they call it, surrogate is saying on Fox News or whatever station they happen to be on.
Normally Fox.
Yeah.
Whenever they don't like going on CNN because they always get like beaten up. It's sad, but it's politics, and that's the name of the game.
Nowadays.
I mean, it's always been the name of the game. It's just that we have social media now, so they're getting more creative. People just have to realize that not everything you see online is true. And just because you read it in a tweet or you read a Instagram post about it or a story does not make it true. Do your actual research. So I just saw Pharrell on the cover of Allure magazine. He has a whole skincare line coming out. It's called, Human Race or something like that?
I mean, Pharrell does have really good skin, but why does every celebrity need to have their own beauty line now? Like, remember in the early 2000s, every celebrity had...
cologne?
Yeah, had a perfume.
Everybody.
Now it's like, I need to have my own beauty line. It's like, not only Fenty Beauty, which... seems the most credible to me because it's like a huge line and they have all these products. But now like Selena Gomez has Rare Beauty or whatever, and she's not the person that I look at for
beauty tips,
beauty and makeup. And then Lady Gaga has what's it called, House Beauty or something like that.
Oh yeah, House of Gaga.
That kind of makes sense because her makeup is sometimes so elaborate, and like she's using a lot of like drag stars to advertise in it. It's almost like costume makeup. That makes sense. I'm okay with that. But Pharrell doing skincare, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a good product to sell because he has amazing skin.
I don't mind it for him because I like that a man is doing it. And I don't see a lot of males getting that type of, endorsements.
Well, more than endorsement, his own company, I guess.
And as a man going into a beauty supply store, a lot of times I'm conflicted on what to buy. What works for my skin, I don't know. I am only seeing women on the boxes. I'm like, is this for them? Can I use it too? Does it work on me? Or whoever's on the box is Caucasian. And I know we have different skin types. So I'm always big on, I'm not spending $70. I did this once and I was so mad. I went into the store. I told them my situation. They're like, oh, what's your skin type? I'm like, oily, medium oily, medium dry, whatever. And she did some things and she's like, I think this would be perfect for you. And I said, I don't know. It looks like a really small bottle and I don't know if this serum is going to do what I need it to do. I'm like, remember, I'm black. Does this work on me? I literally said that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a white lady.
Yeah.
She was like 40s or something. She's like, no, it works for everybody. I'm like, all right, girl, $75. I use it for a month. I did not see any results. I went back and I said, this is trash. I'm like, I would actually like a refund because this did not work. And you told me it would work.
Yeah, they're supposed to be experts.
I went back to my little Caribbean store where they sell the black stuff, got my cocoa butter, because I don't see a lot of products out there specifically for people with my skin type that are men. Men have different type of skin issues than women do.
Yeah.
We have ingrown hair. We have, a lot of people have acne scars, but there's certain things that I need that I can't find for myself. So if he's going to do that, I think that's freaking great.
Maybe Pharrell's going to do that. I mean, I would love to have skin like Pharrell. The man's what, pushing 50 now?
And he looks like a freaking 20-something-year-old.
Okay, not that.
Okay, I'm exaggerating.
He has aged a little bit in the past 5 years. You can see the lines, but he still looks dramatically younger than he actually is.
Yeah.
And his skin still looks healthy, even though it's starting to wrinkle.
He has a baby face. It's like an old baby right now.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
Well, I wouldn't mind looking like an old baby.
It's like baby face. He has that type of face too.
Still. That man does not look like a baby.
Anymore. Beauty and skincare does not always translate to money for celebrities, but I hope it does for Pharrell. I mean, if Kylie and Kim and Rihanna can make it a thing for them, then why not him?
Absolutely.
You know who I'd love to get some skincare tips from? Boris Chestnut. Because he is a really chocolate guy, and his skin, it looks flawless to me.
Yeah, but he just has naturally good skin.
I'm pretty sure he uses something on it.
Yeah, I'm sure he uses something, but it's also good genes. So Joe Biden won the election, and a lot of people...
Woohoo!
Amen. A lot of people think that, or a lot of people are rightfully giving credit, some of the credit to Stacey Abrams for flipping Georgia blue.
I mean, she worked really hard.
Yeah.
She was the catalyst to them winning that state.
After she lost her gubernatorial race, she like made it her mission to like sign up as many people to vote in the next election as she could. But then this week I heard that she's also a romance novel writer.
Say what now?
Yeah.
Is the book out?
She has 8 books.
I didn't know she was an author.
I didn't either. So she writes under the name Selena Montgomery.
Wow.
And she's written 8 books, basically like erotica, like those kind of romance novels, like the paperback drugstore.
That makes sense why she doesn't use her real name, because she wants to go into politics and people might not take her seriously.
Yes.
But I feel like it's a new age for women, and people aren't looking at politicians so much as buttoned up, don't have a life, you know?
Yeah. We used to want them to be like, we would never want them to know anything outside of politics. Like, even remember when Barack Obama first got elected and like people thought he was too friendly with Hollywood.
Yeah.
And him and Michelle knew too much about pop culture. Like they were too hip with it. And that was almost like a critique against them. I feel like that's gone to the wayside in recent years. It's like you want your politician to be a human, to have a life outside of, you know, it's not just like, I love God, I love my family, and I love serving this country.
Yeah.
Like people want to like a little bit more than that. So, but it's super interesting that she's in politics and writing erotica, not just like writing like biographies or something like that.
I know.
Like,
this shows that she's a woman and she has a sensual side to her.
Yes. Let me read you some of the titles.
Oh, God.
Or all of the titles. Hidden Sins.
Love that.
Secrets and Lies.
Here for it.
Reckless.
Yes.
Deception.
Mm-hmm.
Never Tell.
Oh, I'm never going to tell nobody.
Rules of Engagement.
Okay.
The Art of Desire.
These are every middle-aged housewife's fantasy books right now.
And The Power of Persuasion.
Wow.
And they're all black couples on the covers.
Really?
Yeah.
Love that for her. The name she chose, though, very odd.
I know. Well, when I first heard the story, I didn't see the covers. So I was like, okay, maybe she just wants to have like a typical like old white lady name to sell books, like as her ghostwriting name. But maybe she just wanted to kind of keep it separate from politics. Because even when stuff like this comes out, still not everybody's going to know about it. You know what I mean? So she can still keep her lives kind of separate. But it's interesting that she has this whole job where it's like so important for her to understand what her readers want from her. And now she can kind of take those skills into politics. It's like she's a politician who actually understands what her voters want. Like there's a lot of politicians who just get into it and they're like, I think this would be good and I think this would be good. And
they go based off of polls and they're like, oh, based on the polls, 70% of people want blah, 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 which a lot of people lie on polls. Mm-hmm. Like they know it's anonymous and they know it's like whatever, but a lot of them lie.
Yeah. Whereas Stacey is like a fully formed, fully rounded individual who also knows that the people voting are also fully rounded individuals who have other interests just like she does.
And I love how much she is in the community. Yeah. She is on the streets. She's talking to people. She's not just having her assistants make phone calls and send blast text messages. She's out there with the people.
Pounding the pavement.
You have complete access to her.
Yeah.
I would love to see her in office.
I really think that we are going to see her in the next couple of months with a job in Washington.
I'm hoping so.
Joe Biden's going to give her something. Whether it's, well, I don't really understand how American politics work when it comes to like the president, but like whether it's actually in the cabinet or whether she's just like head of outreach for the black community or whatever.
Not the Omarosa job.
But she'll do it better.
When they gave Omarosa that job, remember she came on The View and they're like, what's your title? And she was like, I am the chief communications, this and that liaison for African Americans, something another. And they're like, so you're basically the liaison for black people. And she's like, well, no, and she keeps repeating it. I'm like, girl, you are literally getting paid to do nothing because you don't have any connection to us as a community.
Yeah, not at all.
And you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Who are your contacts? What are you doing for the communities right now?
Who knows what she did the whole time she was in there?
I don't know, record conversations so she could write a book.
Well, yeah, there's that. I mean, good for her, I guess. But yeah, we're definitely going to see Stacey Abrams in Washington in the new year, especially since she doesn't have a job right now.
I mean, she's an author. She's working.
Well, yeah, she's an author. And obviously, but her full-time job has been getting people out to vote. Like, whatever charities she's been working with have obviously been paying her a salary, and I don't even know what the phrase is, but she's worth her weight in gold.
She is. Shout out to Simone Sanders. I really hope she gets the chief of staff gig come January.
I think they usually do if you're like the chief of staff on the campaign. I think you usually transition to.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be unwise if he didn't.
I mean, good for her. The campaign seemed a little rocky in the beginning.
It was, but because he really put her through it, because she had to go clean up that "if you don't vote for me, you're not black" thing.
Yeah,
she had to clean that up for him.
He would say all this stupid stuff, and I would always see people on the internet like, "Oh my God, Simone Sanders must just be kicking herself for joining this campaign." But it worked out, girl. Congratulations.
Congrats.
But that's it for this week. It was a pretty successful Hot Topics episode, no?
I know, it was. I was really scared at the beginning. I didn't know what to think of it.
We'll do it again soon, but that's all for this week.
And over on my YouTube, I have a new vlog coming out this week. It's the Chubby Bunny Challenge. Go check that out, like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening to this on your Apple, your Spotify, your Google, rate us, leave us a comment. We really want to hear from you guys. Until next time, bye.